Steamies. Well, as I did with the classic era, I am going to do some additional videos that revolve around the hit era of Thomas and Friends. And I am starting with the top 6 series of the hit era. Again, these are all my own personal opinions, and no doubt your list will be different from mine. That's the one thing that makes Thomas fandom so unique. Let me know in the comments what your favourite series is. All I ask is that you be respectful, and above all, enjoy the video. Also, I will be including Jack and the Sodor Construction Company on this list because even though it was classed as a classic era series, it was made available to wider audiences during the time of the hit era. Okay, let's dive in. Number 6. Season 12. It was tough to sit through. I'm not going to lie. My brain had completely checked out by this point. Everything became so generic. The rhyming speech was starting to creep in a little bit more. Everybody was just dumbed down to childlike, cheap, hollow imitations of themselves, especially the Scarloway Railway Gang. It's not to say there weren't good episodes in there, because there were, but it was a lot harder to sit through for me. Sorry. Number 5, Season 8. This season really suffered from the lack of characters. We only had the established Steam team, and then you just had some basic secondary characters like Salty, Diesel, Mavis. Emily was introduced as the main, and she was Bitch Emily, not Nice Emily from Season 7, which really threw me for a loop. Number 4, Season 10. A lot of the fandom prefer this season over the rest of the seasons in the hit era. And yes, I did enjoy certain things about it, like the return of Sir Handel. And I wasn't even that bothered about Edward Strikes Out. I am actually planning on doing a video about that episode. It's just going to take some time to get it all worked out. Overall, I enjoyed it. Nothing to write home about. It's just meh. Number 3, Season 9. People think this was a step down from Season 8, but I personally saw a lot of improvements in Season 9. Introducing new characters was one. How some of them were handled is a different story. Sorry, Neville. But I really enjoyed the episodes. Very solid. Wasn't suffering from as much of the issues that were going to come. And on hindsight, I think it was better than what came after it. Number 2, Jack and the Sodor Construction Company. This was a series that at the time, when I watched it at first, I wasn't a big fan of. It took away from the steam engines. I love steam engines. But the more I watched it, the more I really enjoyed it. I could see what they were trying to do. The stories were engaging, aside from a couple. And the characters had great chemistry. I would have loved to have seen how they would have developed it if it carried on into more series. But again, corporate meddling strikes again. I'm very satisfied with what we got though, and it thoroughly deserves a number 2 spot on this list. And the number 1 season from the hit era of Thomas and Friends, in my opinion, is Season 11. A lot of people slate this season. I actually really liked it. I liked the slight changes to the style of how they shot the season. The writers felt like they had a bit more grasp on how they were planning on working with these characters. We got the introduction of Hector the Horrid, which is one of the best episodes of the hit era. And even Don't Be Silly Billy, while it's not a great episode by any stretch of the imagination, wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was very conflicted by it. And when episodes make me think about things and make me question things, shows it can't be all bad. And I know trying to pick the best out of the hit era is kind of like trying to put glitter on a turd, at least for some people. But the hit era's had a lot of love in recent years, and rightfully so, because it was the last of the model era. I enjoyed it, and I think it was the best season of the hit era. And that's my ranking video on the hit era of Thomas and Friends. Might seem like a short video, but these ones are always the shorter videos. Because if you want to watch the videos on my rankings or best and worst episodes, you can always go back through the playlist and check them out. That goes into a lot more detail than I try and do in these videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on chugging.